Welcome to the Robotics Through Science Fiction podcast. I'm Robin Murphy, and in this episode, we'll explore cloud robotics, the Internet of Things, and cybersecurity in Martha Wells' new book, Exit Strategy, because the Internet of Things is murder if you're a MurderBot. Martha Wells completes the wildly entertaining MurderBot Diaries series in Exit Strategy, continuing with that cynical, dystopian, dysfunctional, sadly realistic view of software engineering, cybersecurity, and the Internet of Things. It's the fourth of the novella series, and it ties up the story arc that began in the Hugo and Nebula award-winning All Systems Red. The only less than gushingly positive review I've seen for Exit Strategy complained that each book in the series was the same. MurderBot maintains a running, snarky commentary on humans and on the contradictions of life while fighting the apparent machinations of an evil corporation. Dude, that's precisely what I and apparently everyone but you were counting on. But MurderBot is more than just humor and mayhem. Wells adds character studies to the fast-moving plots, and indeed, Exit Strategy entered Louis McMaster Bujold territory when I, like MurderBot, discovered that I cared about minor characters that I didn't know I cared about. Yes, Garothan, I'm talking about you. The action in Exit Strategy is brought to you courtesy of an Internet Things world that's the sum of all fears. You've got cameras and microphones are everywhere so that hotels and restaurants can mine conversations and social data for a constantly renegotiated price. Everything is hackable, from transport pods to drones. The suspense is in who's going to hack them first. It's a future where robots or their evil masters could pull off all those tropes from horror movies and Ex Machina where the doors slam shut and the life supports turn off, but don't because the governors on robots work just well enough and most people are too absorbed in other things or not smart enough to bother hacking. Kind of like now, only set in space. As a computer science professor, every morning I get in my new car knowing that it could be hacked by some pimply teenager who's outwitted the best of Detroit's I used to be a factory worker but now have been retrained as a programmer cadre. I'm just grateful that my iPhone finally connects to the car's entertainment system, a programming feat of such complexity that took 40 years to accomplish. At least I will be able to play my audiobooks until the end. So, back to task. Is there an Internet of Things in real robotics? Sure. Mobile robots have almost always used a network for remote control, either for remote control by a human, because there's not much use for a robot that you stand next to, or because the requisite compute power for perception for the robot was generally too intense or physically too big to be on board. Notice that the direction of the information flow was predominantly inward, from humans or bigger controllers or computers to the robot. In the 2010s, the direction of information flow flipped. Roboticists began to explore using the internet in the opposite direction. The robot itself would reach outward into the cloud. It was called cloud robotics. Well, until the Internet of Things meme acquired the cachet of easy startup money, and then we call it Internet of Things now. But anyway, cloud robotics began to explore how robots could initiate searching for missing information, like getting a map of the area that the mobile robot had been asked to navigate through, or to learn new things by finding images of them on the web, like, what is a cat, since you've tasked me to go search for your cat? So far, most of the work falls in the category of, if the system was smart enough to know that it needed to look for something, it probably already had those data or data links loaded in. But progress is being made. And speaking of progress, Wells expects to have a full-length MurderBot book out in 2020. Waiting that long is going to be murder. In the meantime, let's hope real roboticists make progress in avoiding her vision of cybersecurity, sloppy software engineering, and the Internet of Things. And if you aren't a subscriber to the RTSF YouTube channel, sign up and check out the interview with Martha Wells here, plus the cute pictures of her reading All Systems Red to a group of my robots.